The heartthrob from the neighboring class, Mason Wilson, stands at 6 feet 2 inches with that signature V-line torso. All cold arrogance and swagger in public, acting like he's too good for soft pretty boys like me. Little does Mason know, the kitten driving him wild every night in DMs is my secret account. I'm biding my time. The next time he calls weakling, his precious kitten will ghost him and shatter that inflated ego into pieces. Gym class with mechanical engineering 1 again. Fantastic. Last thing I need is Mason and his rabid fangirls orbiting my space. Every three-pointer he sinks sends those girls into convulsions like they've been electrocuted. When Mason lifts his jersey to wipe sweat, exposing those defined abs glistening in sunlight, you can practically hear their collective breathing stop. The bastard just smirks that infuriating smirk, chin tilted like the world's beneath him. Fucking show off, I mutter, retreating to my phone. Switching to my sweet kitty 94 account, I fire off today's dose of sugar frowny face babe. Your kitten misses you. Sending cuddles. JPG. Mason's phone lights up on the bench mid-game. Like some sixth sense, he jogs over while still dribbling, sweat dripping from his hair as he checks the message. Cue the ear-splitting squeals. Soon that handsome face cracks into a lovesick grin. Laugh it up, pretty boy. Today's honey is tomorrow's arsenic. The harder you fall now, the sweeter your crash will be. 3 months of playing this kitten charade, all to witness your mighty fall from grace. My phone vibrates with his reply, frowny face, miss you too, princess. Got you that lingerie set we talked about. Don't forget to pick up the package. Before I can react, the gym captain yanks me up by the collar. Then, you're subbing in for Big Black. He twisted his ankle. Me. I choke out. Just guard their weakest player. How hard can it be? On court, Mason notices my deer-in-headlights stumble. His tongue swipes over his teeth, eyes dripping with that familiarity pathetic look. My fists clench. Who the hell does this guy think he is? Ambition, sky high. Skills, rock bottom. I'm wheezing like an asthmatic bulldog just trying to keep up with their benchwarmer rookie. Seeing him prepare to shoot again, I lunged forward. The ball veered off course. But in the next instant, the towering Mason flicked the ball with his fingertips, sending it swishing through the hoop. Losing my balance, I face-planted hard on the court, scraping a raw patch on my pale knee. Tears welled up as pain shot through me. The crowd instantly swarmed around while Mason remained conspicuously aloof at the periphery. His smirk deepened as those thin lips formed 2 unmistakable words. Pathetic wimp. Oh hell no. Pathetic wimp? This kitten's dumping your ass tonight. You'll come crawling back begging? Daddy's little crybaby? Mason and I had been oil and water since freshman orientation. I couldn't stand his arrogant swagger. He despised what he called my princess tendencies. To teach him a lesson, I catfished him as a delicate, impoverished girl. In real life, Mason played the ice prince, but his texts revealed a horny golden retriever. He constantly begged to meet, but I played shy, feeding him our campus administration building's address instead of my dorm. Every package pickup became a covert operation during rush hour foot traffic. It started with snacks and jewelry. When I sent a neck and collarbone selfie wearing his necklace, he cracked frowny face, you're so pale. Baby, want to sink my teeth into you. After that, the care packages turned X-rated scandalous outfits. Questionable gifts. He once questioned why my measurements ran larger than average. I purred, frowny face, your kitten's just extra cuddly sized. His horny brain short-circuited every time. Today's package delay made me late to the cafeteria. Scanning for seats. Only one remained right beside Mason. His teammates heckled, hey Ethan, come sit with your boyfriends. Their laughter carried the same old little bride taunts they thought I didn't know about. Mason's smirk widened as I bristled like a startled cat. Normally ideal. But curiosity won out. Let's see how smug he looks before getting dumped tonight. I took a deep breath and walked toward them. Mason's gaze suddenly shifted suspiciously to my armpit. My stomach dropped. The package I just picked up was still clutched in my hand. Rat poison. Want some? I shoved the parcel into my bag with forced nonchalance. Mason snorted. Thought you bought kidney supplements. His buddies erupted in lewd chuckles. Heat flooded my cheeks as he smirked triumphantly. Asshole. You're the one needing virility pills. Slamming my lunch tray down, I pulled out my phone. Babe, there's this creep staring at me. I hate it. Mason immediately abandoned his food, fingers flying across his screen. Who's bothering my sweetheart? Want me to teach him a lesson? Why's he looking? Into you? Honey? Kitten? You there? Ignore those pervs. Trust me. Guys only want one thing from pretty girls. Be careful. Kitten. Baby? Just one word? One letter? Begging here. Mason sat frozen. Phone clutched in both hands. His friend nudged him. Not hungry, Mace? Probably texting his girl again? Another joked. Dude turns into a zombie whenever she messages. Anyone actually seen this mystery girlfriend? Nah. But she's gotta be smoking hot to wreck Mason like this. When no reply came, Mason's jaw tightened. He grabbed his backpack. Later. I watched him stride toward the exit, frantically tapping his phone. My device buzzed with an incoming video call. Mason. I flipped it face down. Ethan, your phone's vibrating? Someone commented. Smirking at Mason's slumped shoulders disappearing through the doors, I shrugged. Let it ring. Back in my dorm bathroom, I tore open the package. Mason never disappointed. Today's loot was a black lace cat ear-made outfit. The bastard had exquisite taste. The strategic cutouts highlighted every curve. The white feather accents practically screaming seduce me. I snapped several mirror selfies, carefully framing out my face. The camera lingered on the waist for several close-up shots. Mason loves staring at my midsection. His text kept buzzing my phone. Where'd you go? Babe. I'm worried sick. Please answer me. I left my phone charging in the dorm, humming a tune as I headed to afternoon lectures. When I returned that night, hundreds of unread messages awaited. After leisurely washing up and climbing into bed, I began our nightly ritual. Kitten emoji, miss me? Daddy? Mason responded instantly, thank God. Where were you all afternoon? Why ghost me? Sweet Kitty 92, forgot my phone in class. Honey buns, kissing emoji. Mason, next time you forget, there'll be consequences. Sweet Kitty 92, what kind? Puppy eyes. Mason, bend you over my knee. Sweet Kitty 92, you're terrible. Mason, only for you. Princess. Sweet Kitty 92, package arrived winky face. Mason, model it now, drooling emoji. The photo made him study every pixel. Predictably, he demanded, show me that waist. I sent the requested close-up. His typing indicator bounced for 3 minutes straight. Mason, why aren't you here? Teasing me like this, cruel. Sweet Kitty 92. Mason, look what I've got. Little minx. His follow-up photo showed a cat teaser with white feathers matching the plumage on my lingerie. My cheeks burned. Sweet Kitty 92, always thinking about getting frisky. Mason, don't pretend you're not, devil emoji. I switched gears dramatically, sitting upright with schoolmarm severity. Sweet Kitty 92, actually, I want us to focus on academics. Maintain GPAs, secure scholarships, plan for grad school. Your behavior disgusts me. We're through. Mason, disgusted? You begged for it last week. What's really going on? Talk to me. One tap later, his messages hit a void. Game over. Campus exploded when word got out Mason, our 6'2" star athlete, had been dumped. Rumors swirled about his mystery ex. They said he'd sobbed into his pillow all night. The forum lit up with girls dissecting every detail. What shampoo did she use? What perfume? 100 clones emerged overnight, desperate to mend the heartthrob's emotional vacancy. Someone mentioned Mason's ex-girlfriend was pure and beautiful, the epitome of a first love. For weeks afterward, the campus became a sea of white dresses fluttering like restless spirits. It looked downright eerie. Then rumors spread that this girl who'd tamed the campus heartthrob must be some ice queen dominatrix. Overnight, every girl started pairing blazers with fishnets, strutting around like mob boss wannabes. Yet Mason remained tight-lipped about what his ex actually looked like. The guy became a walking ghost, drowning in heartbreak. During joint PE with engineering class 1, spectators multiplied, even a few guys lingered. But Mason just slumped on the bleachers, zombie scrolling his phone beside me, completely oblivious to my presence. I peeked at his screen. Red exclamation marks flooded every message thread. Still, Mason kept typing. Each desperate text met with another scarlet rejection. When he finally buried his face in trembling hands, I realized how much weight he'd lost. His spine protruded like knuckle bones through his shirt, fingers skeletal. Grief hung on him like funeral drapes. "Hey Mason," I chirped. All faux cheer. "Heard you got dumped?" His shoulders locked. A muffled fuck off escaped through his fingers. I leaned closer, grinning. "Why'd she ditch you? Got tired of your pretentious act?" Mason's head snapped up. Those storm cloud eyes glinted dangerously. I braced for impact. Those linebacker fists could probably knock my teeth into my stomach. Instead, he hissed "Screw you," and stalked off. I pantomimed strangling his retreating back, but didn't dare follow. After class, I grabbed a package before hitting the cafeteria. Only one seat remained, beside Mason. As I slid my tray down, his gaze snagged on my parcel. "Rat poison. Want some?" I shook the box. Mason's dark lashes lowered. "Yeah. How many packets to finish the job?" Every head swiveled. The table erupted in protests. "Dude, it's just a breakup. Don't talk like that." "Mason." "Exactly. You're handsome. Got good grades. Come from money, you could date any girl you want. Why obsess over one tree when there's the whole forest? Seriously. Some of us haven't even held a girl's hand yet. You're way ahead of the game." Mason flinched at the word held, then snatched my package. "Eaten them all? Planning to die?" I yanked it back. "Screw you. This is my sour plum drink mix." The guy seemed genuinely messed up. When I first decided to prank him, I just wanted to knock that cocky attitude down a peg. No one likes a pretty boy who acts like he's God's gift because of his looks and grades. But I never wanted him dead. Back in the dorm, I unblocked him to send condolences. The second his contact reappeared, messages flooded in. "Babe, did you really dump me because I seemed arrogant?" "Babe, you unblocked me." Dark heart kitty frowny face. "Yes. Your constant showing off got old." Mason frowny face. "But I'm not trying to be cocky. I've always been quiet. People think I'm stuck up, but it's just social anxiety. I freeze up talking to people." Dark heart kitty frowny face. "Then why mock Ethan from mech class 2? Picking on someone smaller?" Mason frowny face. "Swear to God. He's just pretty. When he looks at me, I feel like a girl staring. Makes me nervous to meet his eyes. Never mocked him." Dark heart kitty frowny face. "You're calling him girly?" Mason frowny face. "Come on. Everyone knows he looks feminine. That's just facts." Perfect. Here I was feeling sorry for him. Should have known better. Now, I hope he does jump off that metaphorical cliff. Dark heart kitty frowny face. "Ethan's the manliest guy I know. My total crush now. You. Not even in his league." Blocked. Lately, mech class 1 guys keep asking, "Ethan, you piss off Mason?" Nah. We've never gotten along. But no big fight. I shrug. "Then why's he asking everyone about you? Think he's into you? Don't be ridiculous." I laugh. Yet lately, Mason's behavior changed. The guy who used to pretend I didn't exist now steals glances when he thinks I'm not looking. Catches my eye and jerks away like a guilty kid. Today in class, he passed 20 empty seats to plop down beside me. Waited until I focused on notes to slowly slide his forearm against mine. Skin touched. I jerked back. "Mason, what the hell? Still thinner than mine," he muttered, turning away with a huff. Unbelievable. Secretly comparing forearm size? What a sneaky bastard. I pulled a water bottle from my bag and struggled with the cap. Without thinking, I handed it to Big Hay beside me. He opened it absent-mindedly and passed it back. The seamless exchange leaving Mason utterly dumbfounded. He kept opening and closing his mouth like a goldfish until finally blurting out during our break, "Ethan, has anyone ever called you masculine?" "Obviously. Why even ask?" I arched an eyebrow. "What I mean is, how many girls actually think that? Like, is there even one? Who is she?" Mason leaned forward with faux innocence. "Bullshit. Plenty of girls think I'm manly. How should I know which one you're talking about?" I snapped. Mason's face twisted like he'd swallowed a lemon. Later in the dorm, our class monitor suddenly yelled, "Ethan, emergency." "What now?" "Our anime club's cosplay event this afternoon. Someone ordered the wrong costume size. You're the only one who can fit this." "Easy peasy. Bring it." I waved magnanimously. My confidence evaporated when he produced the outfit, a gothic bunny girl suit with fishnet stockings and stilettos. "Monitor, I can't do this." Though Mason had bought me plenty of questionable outfits before, I'd only ever tried them in private. Public cross-dressing? In something this scandalous? No way. Ethan, if you bail, our club gets disbanded. You want our cosers homeless? Before I could protest, he shoved me into the bathroom stall. When I emerged, the entire dorm floor froze. Whose pretty little sister is this? Someone whistled. That waist. Those legs. That face. Hotter than actual girls. I knew I looked good in drag. Mason had been completely mesmerized before. But standing exposed like this? The latex bodysuit left nothing to imagination, with its plunging neckline and midriff cutouts. My stiletto-clad feet wobbled precariously as Big Hay adjusted my bunny ears. I'm claiming bunny girl duty today, he declared, ears turning pink. The monitor fetched a female classmate to do my makeup, some innocent yet seductive look that made Big Hay blush furiously. Clinging to his arm, I let him parade me toward the convention center. Whispers followed us like wildfire. Who's that goddess with Big Hay? New girlfriend? Must be hired help from the anime club. Her legs go on forever. And that waist could kill a man. I pressed closer to Big Hay, praying no one recognized me. Under our booth's canopy, cosplayers kept approaching to exchange social media contacts between photo ops. Big Hay's arms stayed possessively around my latex-clad waist the entire time. I was busy dealing with the crowd when I spotted Mason approaching with his dorm mates. I quickly turned my back, heart pounding. The last thing I needed was Mason spotting me here. God knows how he'd mock me if he did. One guy clapped Mason's shoulder. Dude, it's been weeks since the breakup. Time to move on already. His friend chimed in. Seriously, the anime club's full of hotties. Different flavors. You know? Maybe your types. His words trailed off as Mason suddenly broke away from the group. Mason? Where you going? The sound of rapid footsteps faded. I let out a shaky breath only to freeze when strong arms locked around my waist from behind. A stubbled jaw nuzzled my neck as a familiar rasp vibrated against my skin. There you are. My little stray kitten. What the hell? Mason? His friend Black's angry voice cut through my panic. The muscular arms tightened possessively. Hugging my wife. Got a problem with that? Mason's retort came muffled against my shoulder. He shook me slightly. Tell him. Sweetheart. Tell him you're my girlfriend. That I'm your man. Black snorted. You've lost it? Wilson. This is Ethan. Since when's he your girlfriend? The arms around me went rigid. The sudden release left me cold as Mason staggered back. I turned slowly, forcing a grin. Just helping out today. Crazy running into you? Mason's eyes widened like he'd seen a ghost. His gaze swept over my face, disbelief morphing into something sharper. Without warning, he dropped to one knee. I stumbled backward, but his hands shot out to grip my hips. Warm breath ghosted over the exposed skin where my shirt had ridden up. Stay still, he ordered roughly. Just need to check something. His thumb swiped across my lower back once, twice. The sensitive skin flushed pink under the friction. Mason, I hissed. He rose slowly, piercing gaze raking over me. No tattoo, he murmured. Then why? His voice cracked. Does Ethan have the exact same birthmark as my girlfriend? Same pale pink. Same cherry blossom shape. Same damn placement behind the left hip bone. My blood ran cold. I'd completely forgotten about that stupid mark. Usually hidden beneath waistbands. Must have accidentally shown it in some photo. Damn his obsessive attention to detail. Birthmarks happen. I blurted. My mom said half the babies in her ward had them. Mason grabbed my shoulders, eyes darkening. Not like this. Not identical. I steadied my breathing, slipping into familiar teasing. What? You think I'm cross-dressing as your ex? That your precious girlfriend's actually? The unspoken words hung between us. Mason's jaw clenched. Somewhere behind us, Black choked on his soda. Really? Then maybe your girlfriend is my long-lost sister. Bring her here so I can check. I was gambling on the fact that Mason had never actually met this supposed girlfriend, his tender spot. Sure enough, my words instantly clouded his eyes with melancholy, making him look pitifully vulnerable. Okay. No need to show me. Why the sad puppy eyes? Mason stared through me with hollow eyes, voice trembling. Ethan, among the girls you know, does any have a birthmark like yours? Who knows? I might be charming, but I don't go around checking girls' waists. His shoulders slumped at my reply. As he turned to leave, his roommate called out, Mason, not staying for the exhibition? He disappeared into the crowd without looking back. His roommate sighed, "Poor guy. This breakup's destroying him. He's like a zombie these days. If this continues, something bad will happen." Never thought Mason would be this lovesick. With his looks, I figured he'd be swimming in options. Another friend commented. I butted in, "Is it really that bad?" "Bad. He only leaves the dorm for mandatory classes. We had to drag him here today. We're worried he might develop depression. Wonder what kind of girl could wreck Mason like this. Dude's completely obsessed. Won't even look at anyone else. Shit. This prank's gone too far. If Mason jumps off a building tomorrow, it'll be on me." I first noticed Mason during freshman orientation. Towering over other students with his model-like looks, he stood out like a Greek god among mortals. Top energy? My gaydar pinged. Unfortunately, straight as an arrow. Disappointed, I shook my head and headed to the dorms. My mom had stuffed my luggage with local snacks. The endless stairs to the male dorm loomed before me. Halfway up, my arms gave out. "Need help?" A clear voice rang behind me. Turning around, I did a double take. The campus Adonis from earlier materialized like a manga character come to life. He effortlessly hoisted my suitcase, his broad shoulders and defined muscles flexing under the weight. Taking 2 steps at a time, he practically floated my luggage to the dorm. Early autumn heat lingered. Beads of sweat trailed from his temples down the column of his throat, disappearing under his collar. I pressed a cooling wipe against his Adam's apple. "Let me help." "Upperclassman." Mason recoiled like I'd brandished a knife. "I'm good." He grabbed my advancing wrist, maintaining careful distance. "Not your upperclassman. I'm in mech engineering 101 dorm across from yours." "Not an upperclassman?" "Even better. Lower difficulty setting." After unpacking, I headed straight to Mason's dorm. "Classmate, try this specialty from my hometown." Before I could finish speaking, my foot caught on an Ethernet cable. My entire body lunged toward Mason. Mason caught me with lightning reflexes. My face smashed against his rock-hard pectorals. My hands accidentally brushed against his toned waist. So firm. So muscular. Such amazing texture. I wasn't in any hurry to get up. Mason's large hands yanked me upright. "Why were you groping me?" "Kit." He frowned disapprovingly. "I wasn't." My legs gave out. I couldn't get up. It wasn't intentional. After prolonged silence, Mason spat out 2 words, "Pathetic twig." From that day on, Mason started avoiding me. Whenever our paths crossed and he saw my delicate frame, he'd recycle the same insult. Pathetic twig became my permanent label in his eyes. As the campus heartthrob, his nickname caught on. Soon the entire mechanical engineering department joined in. Baby Ethan, Little Bride, Fragile Reed. The humiliating nicknames never stopped. I vowed revenge. If he hated me, fine, but why publicly humiliate me? I created a burner account named Sweetie Kitten, claiming to be a mechanical engineering student from an abusive family. My sob story about losing scholarships and being forced into marriage with some middle-aged loser worked. Mason agreed to tutor me. Every night, I texted him from behind my bed curtain, laying on the compliments thicker than Nutella. "OMG, you're so smart. I wish I had half your brains. I'd totally attach myself to your hip 24/7, that way I could poke your abs whenever I need homework help, winky face." After 6 weeks of this, I confessed my feelings. To my shock, the supposedly unapproachable Ice Prince immediately reciprocated. He admitted our chats gave him constant adrenaline spikes and lightheaded euphoria. He'd been planning to ask me out first. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2, make him emotionally dependent. Phase 3, dump him. To achieve dependency, I indulged his every whim. The slutty dresses he bought? I modeled them like a Victoria's Secret angel. The kitten collar with bells? I wore it like it was Cartier. Each night I'd bring him to the edge of desperation, then suddenly fall asleep. I assumed Mason only wanted my body. But his devastation post-breakup makes me wonder, did he actually fall for my fictional damsel in distress? I unblocked Mason from my blacklist and reached out first. "Mason, I heard the breakup hit you hard. I'm sorry." Mason frowny face, "Babe, you finally answered. Today I saw someone who looked just like you, almost made me question if I was gay. Scared the shit out of myself. Miss you so much, babe." Ethan frowny face, "Mason, I can't force feelings that aren't there. Get your shit together. This mopey act's making me lose respect." Mason frowny face, but baby girl, I'm literally dying inside. Can't stop this ache in my chest. Ethan frowny face, fine. I'll help wean you off me. No contact unless absolutely necessary. Mason frowny face, babe. Maybe ghosting him cold turkey was too harsh. Seeing Mason's zombie-like state didn't give me the satisfaction I expected. Time to switch tactics, slow fade instead of abrupt cutoff. Since reinstating Mason's contact. Colors returning to his cheeks. My phone blows up daily with his play-by-play's frowny face. Saw 3 pigeons fighting over a pretzel crumb. This barista messed up my latte art again. I only respond when notifications hit 99 plus with a single K. Mason claims frowny face, just knowing you see these makes me happy. Babe. God. What a pathetic simp. After gym class. We wound up at the same cafeteria table again. Mason meticulously arranged his chicken tenders into smiley face formation. Snapping multiple filter-tested shots. My phone immediately buzzed. Check out my lunch. Kitten. You eaten yet? What ya having? Send food pics? Please? The dude's perfected the art of one-sided texting. Campus golden boy by day. Full-time thirst trapper by night. My phone chose that moment to betray me, every incoming message triggering loud dings. I death gripped the device. But the damage was done. Ethan, you gonna check that? A classmate asked as alerts kept coming. Nah. I shifted uncomfortably. Must be nice having simps on demand. Someone muttered. Mason paused mid-text. Fixing me with this wounded puppy stare. After agonizing silence, he rasped, ignoring someone's effort, that's cold. Ethan. My heart stopped. Did he know? Would he strangle me right here? Brain scrambling for denials. Maybe they're pouring their heart out. He continued hoarsely. And you're just throwing it away. Jesus H. Christ. Nearly gave me cardiac arrest. Not your business. I snapped. Bolting upright. I'll reply when I feel like it. Later. A package notification drew me to campus mailroom. The massive lime green box definitely wasn't my earbuds. As I turned to ask about possible mix-ups, my gaze landed on Mason, who had just been eating in the cafeteria moments ago, now stood across from me with an expression of utter disbelief. He took heavy, deliberate steps toward me as a sinking feeling gripped my chest. I silently prayed this would be another false alarm like before. When Mason reached me, his gaze turned complicated. Ethan, is that really you? I realized then, the package had been Mason's doing. He'd sent it to track me down. With my cover blown, I saw no point in pretending. Yeah, it's me. I jutted my chin out with false bravado. How could you play with my feelings like this? His chest heaved with barely contained anger. I lied about who I was. But I never faked my feelings. I shoved the package into his arms and bolted, hot tears blurring my vision as I ran. When I first discovered Mason wasn't into guys, the disappointment cut deep. I tried consoling myself, plenty of fish in the sea, right? Someone who'd like me back. I even made lists of his flaws to convince myself to move on. Mason's too flashy. Mason's ice cold. Mason's got a vicious tongue. Mason's a snob, yet my eyes kept betraying me, drawn to him like magnets. That confident way he moved on the basketball court? Okay, flashy, but damn if it wasn't mesmerizing. That aloof exterior? He'd been the top donor during the hurricane relief drive. Those sarcastic jabs? I craved the sound of his voice like some addict. That snobbishere? Maybe he just operated on a level us mortals couldn't comprehend. Wherever Mason went, my radar pinged within 50 meters. Pathetic. I created a burner account, telling myself, seduce him then dump him. Make him hurt. But the moment we actually started dating, I fell hard. Those stolen moments of tenderness became my oxygen. When I realized I was drowning, I tried ending it after he called me a wimp. Hit pause on this absurd game. Yet we kept crashing back into each other, time after time. Now Mason avoids me completely, maintaining a 10-yard buffer zone. Whenever our eyes meet, he glares like I'm his personal demon. I shrug. Saw that coming. He probably wants to gouge his eyes out for ever liking someone so repulsive. I visited my advisor to secure a study abroad spot for next semester. By graduation, I'll be long gone. Mason will finally be free of me. Bet he'll throw a party. Today, I received an unusually heavy package. Big Black helped me and Parker move back to the dorm. On the way, I shamelessly squeezed his biceps with admiration. Damn, Big Black, You're so jacked. So manly. So safe. He puffed out his chest proudly, hauling boxes with renewed vigor. Ethan, wipe the sweat off for me. Big Black bent down. I pulled out tissues, reaching toward his forehead. Well, if it isn't the Bikini Bunny girl? A familiar voice snarked behind us. It was that guy from Mechanical Engineering Class 1 who'd seen me at the anime convention last time. Standing next to him was Mason. Mason's stormy gaze pinned me like an insect specimen. I squirmed uncomfortably, shoving the tissues back into my pocket as I dragged Big Black away. That icy stare kept burning holes in my back all the way to the dorm. 20 minutes later, our class president suddenly shrieked while scrolling his phone. Holy shit. Mason just resurrected his dead social media feed. My screen flooded with extreme close UPS pectorals glistening, 8-pack abs, bulging biceps, V-line disappearing into waistband. Since when is Mason starting in OnlyFans? The president gulped. Big Black snorted. Like he's special. Ethan, take some shots of me. Let's bury this show off. Soon Big Black posted his own muscle gallery caption frowny face Ethan's photography skills? Chef's kiss. Mason's post vanished 8 minutes later. Acting like a peacock strutting for mates? The president cackled. When I asked why peacocks did that, he leered, to get laid. Then they can do whatever they want. He emphasized the last word obscenely. Mating call? I side-eyed Big Black. Did he like someone? Was Mason finally over his breakup? Were they competing for the same girl? Since when did heterosexual drama move this fast? The advisor summoned me to fill out study abroad forms. Mason was already there assisting as student council president. He often helped with administrative work. Our eyes accidentally met before darting away like startled fish. I hesitated at several form sections, planning to ask the advisor later. Mason noticed. Use this date format, he suddenly said, sliding a sample across the table without looking up. His knuckles whitened around the pen. I kept my head down, staring at Mason's slender fingers dancing across the paper. Thanks, I mumbled, completing the rest of the form under his guidance. Why the sudden decision to study abroad? Mason's voice cut through the silence. Surprised, he initiated conversation. I glanced up briefly before focusing on my trembling hands. Just want new experiences. Staying in one place forever gets stale. Stale? His bitter laugh made my neck prickle. This entire campus holds nothing worth staying for? Nothing. My shrug seemed to ignite something dark in his stormy eyes. Mason barked a humorless chuckle. Impressive, Ethan. Truly. His sarcastic thumbs-up gesture stung more than I'd admit. The suffocating silence returned until I blurted. About those pranks, I'm sorry. Okay. It was just stupid jokes. Just jokes? His knuckles whitened around his pen. Of course. You're hot but way too icy for my taste. I fanned myself dramatically with my application, missing how his jaw tightened. When Mason snatched my paperwork to submit, unexpected relief washed over me. Lunch found us in the cafeteria, his long legs reluctantly making space at the table, pushing fatty pork to my plate's edge. I jumped at his sudden offer. I'll eat those. You like fatty cuts? You always gave those to Dahe before. His observation startled me, since when did aloof Mason notice my eating habits? He's not picky. Neither am I. His quick retort made me blink. Since when did the supposedly germophobic rich boy want my leftovers? Treading carefully, I offered. My meal plans got extra funds. Want me to get you a fresh portion? Mason's ears turned crimson. Forget it, he snapped, stabbing his broccoli. I mentally facepalmed. What was his damage? No one knew about my exchange program yet. My dorm friends meant too much for drawn-out goodbyes. They'd find my farewell note when I was already airborne, sparing us all the messy tears. Tears instantly welled up in their eyes. Just thinking about it made their blood pump. Lately, the dorm atmosphere felt strangely tense for no apparent reason. Big Black and the others seemed to be hiding something from me. They kept huddling together, whispering secretively, scattering like roaches whenever I approached. What the hell, they're actually freezing me out. Just wait till I study abroad. You'll all regret treating me like this. Mark my words, you'll be crying apologies every single day. No one remembered my birthday this year. The loneliness crushed me. I'd considered treating my roommates to dinner, but after witnessing their shady behavior all week, forget it. They'd all disappeared since morning. That night, I ordered takeout alone. ready to celebrate my pathetic birthday in solitude. Mason suddenly texted me. Dead heart kitten, are you celebrating your birthday today? I replied frowny face yeah. What? The typing bubble blinked for eternity before he finally sent frowny face never mind, weirdo. I was about to curse him out when our class monitor called. Ethan. I twisted my ankle at the track field. Come help me back. Why not ask Big Black? Can't reach him. Hurry, it really hurts. I abandoned my cold noodles and rushed out. The moment I opened the door, there stood Mason pacing outside our dorm like some caged tiger, clearly wrestling with something. Ethan. He moved toward me urgently. I waved him off. Later. Emergency. Sprinting downstairs before he could protest. The normally floodlit track field lay in complete darkness. No wonder the monitor had fallen. Ethan. Over here. His voice called from the shadows. As I approached, hundreds of solar lamps suddenly illuminated around my feet, forming a glowing circle. My missing roommates emerged from all directions singing happy birthday. I furiously wiped escaping tears. What's this cheesy crap? My voice cracked. Everyone froze with knowing smiles, except Big Black. He strode forward clutching sunflowers, stopping inches from me. Happy birthday, Ethan. His gaze burned into mine before softening. Ethan, I'm in love with you. Will you let me prove it every day from now on? The crowd around us immediately erupted in chants. Get together. Get together. Get together. I froze in shock. Mason was burly, muscular, and fiercely loyal. He'd looked out for me since freshman orientation. I'd always seen him as an older brother. Had he actually developed feelings for me? The noise subsided as dozens of expectant eyes turned toward me. Mason gazed at me intensely, his voice trembling with emotion. Ethan, will you give me a chance? I want to keep protecting you forever. Though it pained me, I shook my head firmly. I'm sorry, Mason. You've always been like family to me. I don't feel that way about you. What? His expression shattered. Voices immediately rose around us. Come on, Ethan. He's been planning your birthday surprise for weeks. Just say yes already. We've got the whole celebration ready. Everyone knows you two are practically inseparable. Trapped in this sudden social pressure, I faltered. I never wanted to hurt Mason, he'd been so good to me. But I couldn't lie about my feelings. As I struggled to respond, a strong hand gripped my wrist. I turned to see Mason glaring at the crowd, his voice cutting through the noise like winter frost. Can't you see Ethan's uncomfortable? Since when do we force people into relationships? He dragged me toward the campus woods, my protests ignored. With sudden force, Mason pinned my hand against an oak trunk. Why reject him? I thought you were close. His dark eyes burned into mine. I don't like tan skin. Though many girls found Mason's rugged complexion attractive, I'd always preferred pale complexions. Mason leaned closer until our breaths mingled. My skin's pale, Ethan. His thumb brushed my pulse point. Why not like me instead? My laugh sounded strained. Mason, you're supposed to be straight. Stop messing with me. I'm fucking gay now. He roared, eyes wild. I see your face when I blink. Dream about your waist. Your legs, can't think straight anymore. Isn't this what you wanted? You broke me, Ethan. Now I'm crazy about you. Obsessed. My mind reeled. This couldn't be real. When I didn't respond, Mason grabbed my hand and pressed it against his throat. Take my life if you want. Do whatever you need to make this stop. This constant agony, I can't fucking breathe without you. Tears streaked his face, the first time I'd ever seen Mason vulnerable. The anguish in his eyes terrified me. What had I done? I'm sorry, Mason. I never meant. He flinched like I'd struck him. Before I could finish, Mason released me and vanished into the trees, leaving bloody crescent marks where he'd clawed his own palms. What's the point of apologizing now? What were you thinking when you seduced me back then? Then what should we do? Ethan asked miserably. Mason suddenly fixed his gaze on me. His eyes darkened, throat bobbing as his voice roughened. Ethan, let me kiss you, please. Time froze. My entire body locked in place as Mason's breath warmed my skin, his grip tightening around my wrists. Tasting Mason before leaving the country would at least fulfill one lingering desire. But he'd only recently come out. What if kissing me made him recoil and revert to being straight? Closing my eyes slowly, I felt cool lips brush my upper one. Mason's mouth moved with feather-light suction until I squirmed backward, hips arching. Enough, yet? The breathy tremor in my voice betrayed me. Sharp teeth nipped my lip, forcing a gasp. He seized the opening to plunder deeper, a relentless, devouring storm that left me dizzy. I surrendered completely, floating in white static until he finally broke the kiss. Forehead damp against my neck as we both panted. Are we done now? I whispered shakily. Then, Mason ground his hips forward, voice gravel. Let's get a hotel room. Since when did newly out guys know this many gay seduction tactics? Pinned beneath him on crisp sheets, our fingers interlocked as I instinctively arched for more contact. Instead, Mason pulled a delicate chest chain from his pocket, dangling it above me. Ethan, he commanded, pupils blown black. Put this on. Not wear. Put on. Heat flooded my face as I complied. That night, Mason lost all restraint. His hands memorized every curve of my waist despite my tearful pleas, revealing a startling duality, domineering yet meticulously attentive. I became a fragile skiff battered by hurricane waves, willingly surrendering to the tempest knowing I'd sail overseas in a month. We soon became inseparable. The icy restraint masking his features had melted, revealing a man insatiable once awakened. The man who carried himself with perfect composure in class would grab my hand and drag me off campus the moment lectures ended. At the hotel, he'd experiment with increasingly shameless positions until I was left thoroughly satisfied. On Mason's birthday, I planned to give him an unforgettable gift, permanent proof of our recent madness. Our inevitable breakup loomed closer with each passing day. The study abroad application I'd submitted over a month after we started dating meant Ethan would be boarding a plane alone. Mason never stood a chance to follow, his application deadline having expired weeks before our first kiss. Even now, I'm convinced it was never really me he wanted. Not Ethan the person, certainly not Ethan the man. My body simply served as the canvas for his sexual fantasies, an obsession that would fade like morning mist after my departure. Some girl would eventually inherit his tempestuous passions. Mason particularly cherished my waist, his skilled hands always finding their way beneath my shirt during our encounters. That's why I tattooed his initials J. Mover, the pink birthmark there. The letters curled like a bumblebee nestled in cherry blossoms. When he pushed up my white tee that night, his eyes blazed at the revelation. Devotion turned his kisses sacramental as he knelt before the inked tribute. I regretted it by midnight. His cravings escalated to dangerous new heights, demanding I wear his scandalous outfits, coaxing me to beg big bro between gasps, pushing my endurance past breaking point. Keep sucking like that and you'll wear through my skin, I protested when his mouth returned to my waist. Then call me hubby, he growled. Through gritted teeth I obliged. Hubby? That tone's pure temptation, he accused, laughter rumbling against my hip bone before redoubling his efforts. You're a fucking incubus, I shouted as dawn approached. Next morning, I pressed a feather-like kiss to Mason's sleeping forehead. Goodbye, I whispered, rolling my suitcase toward the airport exit. While queuing for security, I drafted dramatic farewell texts guaranteed to make my roommates weep over their breakfasts. A hand snatched my phone mid-sentence. I whirled to find my entire dorm circle smirking around me. Sneaking off to become some tragic romantic memory? Our class monitor arched an eyebrow. Ethan, you sentimental little shit. Big Black ruffled my hair affectionately. After all I taught you about clean exits? No tearful airport scenes? Remember? I ducked my head. You're not mad? Unlike someone who's been moping like a widower? His booming laugh drew stares. Admitted him twice the man Mason ever was. Obviously, I agreed with exaggerated sincerity. My bro's the manliest of all. We exchanged bear hugs and backslaps before I sprinted to my gate, their laughter chasing me down the jetway. The stale airplane air tasted sweeter knowing I left no ghosts behind. Boarding the plane, I found someone sleeping next to my seat with a magazine covering their face. I tapped the person's shoulder. Excuse me, I need to get to the window seat. After a long moment, the figure slowly straightened up. Slender fingers removed the magazine to reveal Mason's unmistakable face. He'd kept me up half the night, shouldn't he still be asleep at the hotel? Mason narrowed his eyes, his voice husky as he deliberately enunciated. Ethan, sneak out after fucking me? You're quite the player. Came to see me off. Mason? Since when do farewell committees board the damn plane? My eyes widened. You're coming abroad with me? Suppose. Mason spread his long legs insolently across the aisle. Weren't you desperate for that window seat? I edged past his knees. Phone buzzing with a new message from big hey frowny face Ethan. Mason applied for the same exchange program. Electric shock coursed through me. You applied too? Mason kept scrolling through his phone, barely nodding. Mitchum. But I submitted mine on the deadline day. Same. His thumb paused on the screen. You refused to share your pork belly. Went straight to the advisor after dinner. We weren't even together then. Yep. I waited for romantic confessions. Longing glances. Maybe even an embrace. Instead, Mason coldly tilted his phone toward me. Big Hay's latest post showed our earlier goodbye scene. The caption taunted frowny face Ethan. Admitted I'm way manlier than Mason. My own grinning reply stared back. Obviously. My big bro's the toughest. Mason's stormy expression revealed everything. Our friend's overly cheerful farewells suddenly made sense. They'd orchestrated this ambush. As Mason's gaze darkened, I rubbed my sore lower back. These idiots had truly screwed me over. Epilogue, Mason's POV. I never doubted my heterosexuality. Not until freshman orientation day when Ethan crashed into me. His lips brushed mine. His cheek pressed against my neck. His wandering hands gripped my waist. My resting heart rate skyrocketed to 180 beats per minute. This terrifying sensation, it had to be eliminated. I feigned anger and asked, "Hey, why are you touching me?" Ethan's hand lingered on my abs for a few more seconds before he put on an innocent act. I didn't. My legs were weak earlier, I couldn't get up. Wasn't trying to feel you up. Ethan was gay. Painfully obvious about it too. Not just his legs, his entire body went limp against me. All soft curves molding to my torso. The worst part? My traitorous body reacted. I hated physical contact. Had mild germophobia for Christ's sake. Yet when Ethan touched me, I craved more. My skin buzzed with electricity even as I sneered. Pathetic. They say a man's hardest body part is his mouth. Guess that's me. Ethan shot me a glare that could melt steel. After that, we avoided each other. Whenever our paths crossed in the mechanical engineering building, I'd hurl insults to hide how my pulse raced. The whole department knew we couldn't stand each other. Nobody knew. Nobody saw how Ethan's pretty boy face haunted me every damn night when I took care of business. I'm not gay. The realization hit me like a truck when some girl from campus slid into my DMs. Said her family favored sons over daughters, needed scholarships to stay enrolled. Started asking for homework help daily. Her sugar-coated big brother this and big brother that wore me down. The flirty comments made my ears burn. When she confessed, I said yes immediately. Relief flooded me, proof I like girls. Not that infuriating queer Ethan. Thought I'd finally moved on. Then came the dream. Bed frame slamming against the wall. Wildcat. I groaned. The person beneath me opened their eyes. Fuck. Ethan's face. Ethan's lips parting in a gasp. I nearly tore my sheets apart. This had to stop. Begged Wildcat to meet in person. Needed to overwrite that goddamn mental image. She refused. Sent her sexy outfits through campus mail instead. Never gave her dorm number. But she'd text try-on pics. Always faceless. I feel like such a terrible person. I'm dating Wildcat. But in my head I keep imagining her as Ethan. That's so unfair to a girl. But I genuinely can't control myself. The day I discovered Ethan was Wildcat, my anxious heart finally flatlined. I'm gay. The biggest goddamn gay to ever exist.